But why don't you share? Now it's a good time to talk about this. What are some of the specific results you feel like you got after or since, during, whatever?
Okay.
You
Do you
know,
want me to cry now or should I wait? Do you have tissue? Because just thinking about it, I actually got a little emotional just now. Isn't that funny? Fearless launching will make you feel, but really I felt, what's happened is that the Fearless movement got created, and that was something as a result of the Soulful Summit, and that's what gets me kind of emotional. And I feel like I'm going to cry. But I think because, don't laugh.
no, I'm not. I'm
um,
like,
um, connections were made on such a deep level with people that had fears about moving forward in their business or their life, and I really respond to that in a deep way. And I didn't know in the beginning, I didn't know that I loved interviewing people. I didn't know. I didn't know how much I loved talking about how to help people through the fear. And I didn't know that it's part of my mission to, or purpose in life, to sort of support people the way that you do. Like I get so much out of creating this community of people where we can all say, I really want to achieve this in my life. And I can say, we're all here for you and I'm cheering you on and we can all do this together and to not let the fear get in the way of our highest potential. Like that moves me. Now I'm going to go cry. So, and that didn't exist before your class. Like I didn't really have an inkling. Like literally I hired Emily Archer to help me with content creation. She said, why don't you do a summit, have like 5 days, interview people. It'll help grow your list. That was it. And then from that, going through the process of what the questions that you asked in your class just got me thinking more deeply about the purpose behind it besides the numbers.
which it did give you too.
What's that?
Which it did do for you.
It did. It did.
So I think that's amazing because it just shows you what what you did that, but it like did so much more.
It did. It steered my career a little bit. Yeah. I feel even just today a little more on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, on purpose.
On purpose. Yeah. Okay.
Do we both cry now?
Yeah.
I feel so emotional. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like reading the next question. I'm like, something personal you've achieved. I'm like, we're personal right now. So we don't really need to go there.
That's okay. But I think it gave me more confidence. I mean, I think the personal piece really is that it gave me more confidence that I could work through a big, giant launch of something I've never done before and be supported and know that it doesn't have to be perfect and that my first one is going to be my first one.
Yeah.
And that gave me a lot of permission to just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And, those little tips that are very personal that are you. I mean, launching is launching. There's like a certain thing that we all kind of do. But then there's all these personal tips that you've given us and the way that you phrase things and the way that you all the little acronyms.
Anisms. Oh, yeah, acronyms. Anisms.
Anisms. That tipped it for me. Like that's what really made it meaningful and helpful to get through something that I took so personally,
Well, I do think, and I want to just say for the record, what I think is amazing is that you're like, oh, it's just this summit. But like this summit that you did, first of all, itself was like, it wasn't just a small thing. You interviewed a lot of people. How many people?
24 people.
24 people. And how many, did it actually run for
just 2 weeks. I did, everyone could see 2 interviews a day for the 12 days, 24.
So basically you went from just for like exactly what you launched, but then that obviously took a bigger form. I think you went above what you thought you were going to do when you invited, you just kind of kept inviting and then you're like, oh, wait, after you have like your little collage of faces, you're like, oh, then the reality sets in and you start interviewing people, which is great. Like we're talking members area, lots of, I think you were still doing blog content at the time. lots of stuff. You hired a team, really.
Yeah.
You hired someone to help you manage this whole process, which is amazing. That was a huge step. And you know what I love is that you kind of kept going with that. You created this event, and then you created something that people could still, something you can continue to share with people. And that's what I love, is that you can continue to share this in any way you want going forward. And you already are. You still are.
Yeah. I thought that the summit was going to be, I thought, oh, maybe I'll do this once a year, and every year I'll have a new topic. And so the first thing will be fearless.
Yeah.
But then what I found is that fearless is not done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not done becoming fearless, and neither are you. Like, neither are any of us, really.
Yeah.
And so I feel even more compelled to interview more people about the same topic, and to keep it going, and to keep the momentum going of really breaking down the mass that, I mean, I think we all compare our insides to other people's outsides. Like, we look at people who have arrived, or people that are more successful than us, and we think somehow they don't have fear. And I think that the more we see that we're all the same, the more permission we give ourselves to try.
That's right.
So I think that's what it opened up for me. Like, I had an interview with people that I was afraid of, and then we're talking on Skype, and it's like I'm talking to my best friend. I mean, it's like so fine. And then I'm like, well, where's Robert Downey Jr.? I need to interview him now.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, well, who's on your wish list for the next one? We're upping the game big time.
Yeah, I am. And I did ask Brene Brown at the World Domination Summit, and she said yes. And I've been asking people that are a little bit outside of my community. Like, you have your people, and I'm sort of stretching that. But I did ask John Krakauer. I think you already know that. But I asked an author, and he said, I don't think I'm really interested in that. And that, what I'm learning is that when somebody says no, it's an opportunity for somebody who's right to say yes.
Right.
So it's just exciting to me. If somebody says no, I'm like, okay, who's next?
Right. Who's next? Okay. Who else can I ask? Who else can I ask?
Yeah.
Well, I love that. That's exciting. I could talk to you about this.
Let's do that.
Longer. And I just think that it's, I honestly, I mean, I don't like to, I think that especially there's always a magic in the first time, there really is. And the way that you guys all gelled, I still think about it and I think, my gosh, that was kind of a miracle, right?
That was amazing.
Because when I think about, I'll call names out. Like when I think about B School or Creating Fame, there's lots of the same types of people, and you can always find people you align with, like, oh, the health coaches, or, oh, moms, oh, this, oh, that. There's people you can align with, not to say that you have, like, mimicking your businesses or anything. They're not copycats. Right. But no one was doing the same thing.
No one.
And
we're crazy about each other. Like,
and that was insane. And we even had one guy. Gotta love Wesley. I gotta call Wesley out every single time. But that was amazing to me when I really stepped back and looked at who was here. I was like, okay, this is either is this gonna be okay? What are we gonna do here? Is this gonna go well? And what I saw inside the community was just like, psh. And I think that for you guys, what I witnessed was like an honesty and ability to just say, hey, I kind of screwed up. I asked this person, they said yes first, then they decided no. Or I did this secret webinar. I didn't want to tell you guys because I was embarrassed. There's like lots of well, I don't know. My business might be copying this other big figures business. I don't know if if I can still pull it off. There's lots of these admissions, and I love that.
Yeah, I think that you somehow have this way of magnetizing just all the people that are ready to get real and really say it. Like I felt safe to do so. I didn't feel judged in there, and if people were judging me, they certainly weren't letting on. I don't think they were, but we all really said like it was like our little secret. Where we could say, oh my God, I'm freaking out.
And that's why we're starting a fresh slate.
Yeah.
We need to. At this point, things have gotten way too deep in there.
Yeah. And I think it'll happen again because of the nature of the class. I mean, it is, And I think that is a testament to your personality, that that's what you draw and that's how you are. That's how you are. So that's what you're going to create.
That's so funny when I think about
Isn't that funny?
It is. It is. So I guess in closing, because people who are watching this may be trying to decide whether this program is right for them. What do you think? Who do you think this is really like? When you think about this program, what type of person do you think is really going to get the most out of this?
I really think that somebody who is, well, like me. I mean, I really was in the dark about what it took to launch something. And I was a little bit overwhelmed by the technical stuff. And somehow it all merged. So I had some ideas, but I wasn't sure. Like somebody who wants to launch, but maybe they're not sure what it is yet, that's okay. Somebody who knows what they want to launch is great, of course. But I feel like all different levels were present in your class. Like people really knew and some people didn't. And I think through the process, we all became a lot more focused on what it is our purpose is and what it is we want to launch, and then took all the little steps together. So it's somebody who is ready but might not know exactly what it is. Yeah. Or somebody who is ready but needs to know all the little steps.
Yeah.
And gets like the value of not doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
Value of not doing it by yourself is like, it's priceless. Like, yeah, I learned that.
Okay.